And we are live. Okay. Nigel Wright, and welcome to Voice CEO Conversations. I'm here, mind blown. We are live. Okay, live, but I'm here mind blown with the one-wheeling Mr. Hello Future, CEO of attn.live, Mr. Ian Utile. So we're having this quick conversation. I'm going to move through this quickly. And I comment on this Josie t-shirt that he's wearing. I'm like, is that an NFT t-shirt? And the t-shirt looks pretty regular t-shirt. Cool piece of art. And we got the dog pound at the back. Woof, woof. Yeah. DMX, rest in peace. There we go. So anyway, so he's like, I think I can show you something. So he pulls out this phone and he puts it up. And what you're seeing is this thing transforming right before our very eyes. I absolutely love it. And we're talking about NFTs today. I got dressed up. The conversation is NFT attention versus NFT value. Now, here's the thing. These two perfectly converged because now there's attention. That's hella value to me. So how are you, my friend, with that long introduction? How are you?
I am loving you right now.
I love you back, bro. I love you back, bro.
I'm liking this whole moment right now, Nigel.
Yes.
Okay, everybody that's watching live, thank you for your attention. We are live broadcasting through attn.live's sonic streaming NFT platform. If you're trying to explain to Grandma what attn.live does, you can tell Grandma to go to attn.live and read for herself. No, I'm just kidding. Tell her it's like radio plus the post office plus the flea market. So we do live social audio with mass distribution analytics, and we monetize that audio through NFT creation in a marketplace. Now, I am wearing one of my favorite crypto artists' t-shirts. This is Josie Bellini. You can go to josie.io to buy her. Well, she's basically sold out of everything, but she may have a few prints left you can pick up. You can get her NFTs on places like OpenSea. This is one of 20 NFTs. I have one called Tune In. I have another one called, is it Obey or Disobey? I can't remember. But the Tune In one, there's only 20 of these NFTs. I think I gave Josie a couple $100 for it 2-3 years ago. And now it recently sold for $330,000, one of those 20. So I'm not a huge advocate of gambling. I'm actually kind of against gambling. I think it's dangerous for people. I'm not a big advocate of speculative investing. So I don't encourage people to spend a bunch of money on NFTs, but it did turn out well for me with Josie's work. And she's somebody that's probably worthwhile investigating. Now, this shirt and print and digital art piece that Josie created, she built an augmented reality app. So even though I am behind the phone, which is why I can reach out with my hands right here, I have my iPhone in front of me, which is fairly ridiculous, so that you can see her artwork come to life, okay? So her artwork is basically, you can see the dollars are falling away as she has the Bitcoin mask on. And now she's gotten rid of fiat currency. Now she has cryptocurrency, and now she can take the mask off and actually breathe. So I'm gonna remove this momentarily until we wrap up our time together, and I'll bring it back up for another demo. But I am wearing the shirt. I put on the Santa Cruz hat, so all of you know I'm not just in the metaverse, like I'm really here in Santa Cruz County. I live in a treehouse with my two boys in the Santa Cruz forest. Nigel Wright is one of attn.live's customers. He's one of my friends. He does these incredible demos all the time on Instagram. And today, Nigel, reintroduce our topic, which we'll keep short so that this video is shareable. So I reintroduce the topic and we'll dive right in.
First, shout to Josie. That was amazing. Had to say that. Go check her out. So, Voice CEO Conversations, where we have discussions between tech and humanity and how they bridge together. And today's conversation, aptly, is about NFTs, value versus attention. I think we got both already, but I want to dive into this very specifically. So I'm going to basically rapid fire at Ian here. And just say how I feel about it. I think there's a lot of attention that goes along with NFTs. And granted, that is cool. And you have the people thing and you have, the excitement around it. But you also have gas fees and other things that we talked about yesterday. So there's a lot of attention around it, period. We were just on another talk on, NFT NYC, big event coming up. It's growing all the time. So people are definitely interested. So you have that attention. But practical value in every sense of the word, I think, is appropriate here, from the understanding to the adoption to the actual translation of someone's art and intellectual property into money by putting it in a marketplace, is a conversation that needs to be had. This is only a conversation starter, and we will go deeper. But I want you to talk to me first about NFT attention, and you can use, about NFT attention, and then what you see as NFT value, so that people get a good sense of it from a layperson's perspective.
I'm not going to be right about everything I say. So, if somebody wants to nitpick my response to you, they can go right ahead. I don't really care what you think. I'm okay being wrong. But let me just talk about it in context of Josie Bellini, the crypto artist, as I'm wearing her t-shirt. There are certain aspects of Josie's artwork and of her pursuit to build a business that are about attention, and other aspects that are about value. Some things are both. Okay, so before Josie had the world's attention, she could only sell me the TuneCore NFT, one of 20, for a couple $100, because that was the value that she felt the market would give her. Now that Josie's artwork has massive attention, there's another person that did a secondary sale of TuneCore, of TuneIn, and they charged $330,000. So the value went up 1,000 times or 100,000%. So you can see one artist, a couple years later, when the attention on that artist and the industry grew, the value grew. Okay, but let's take this right here, if it's going to work for me again. Let me get it ready. This is an example. Here we go. This is an example of the attention and the value has always been the same. Okay. So what you see here is I have worn this t-shirt to business meetings and had my employees put iPads in front of me, which is kind of ridiculous, but it got people's attention and it added value to the conversation. Like, I would have to say that this is your and my 6th Voice CEO conversation.
Yes.
That Josie's artwork on my t-shirt and the application that allows it to have augmented reality, it builds attention for you and I, right? Like Josie and her network and our shared friends, they are likely to either watch this or share this or comment on this because this is interesting, right? I'm in a conversation inside of a phone with my hands coming through. So it's real time, but my t-shirt's coming alive to tell the story. Now, you see, she did this years ago when her NFT's value was a couple $100 because she didn't have the attention. But the ability to get the world's attention through this augmented reality crypto art and the value that it brings has remained steady. It's a 10 out of a 10. So certain things in the NFT space are growing in value, growing in attention increases value, and other things have always gotten attention and have always garnered value. If you look at the industry as a whole, it is a lot of attention, and therefore there's many things that are being sold right now that may not have the value that is being paid long term. However, there's certain things that the value will increase and go up. Nobody really knows. We don't have a crystal ball, which is why I strongly encourage people to be very careful about speculative investments. Find NFTs that you can afford to lose the money if you're making an investment into a collectible, or like I said yesterday when we talked about non-fund, the dark side of NFTs. Couple things that you can do. You can follow people and not just listen to what they say, but watch what they do. Right? You can create your own NFT. You can do some research and get one NFT that's affordable for you. There's a lot of things you can do to lean into this market.
Let me jump into this. Let me jump into this a little bit. So I wanted to stress how where value comes in, practical utility. You hear this a lot in the voice in the NFT space. You hear it repeatedly. You hear it from all the experts and the top thought leaders in this space. Here's the utility with the shirt. Ian and I are sitting here, we're having this conversation. I comment on the shirt. He picks up the phone, no stage, no pre-recording, no nothing. He goes, let me see if this is gonna work. Boom, puts it up, bam, it's working straight away. That, my friend, is utility. That is where true value comes in because it just works.
Yeah.
When it's showtime, the lights are on, it works. And at the end of the day, whether the NFT is a collectible, it's just something that you use for social currency, or it's something that you actually take and you say, this piece of art I'm going to sell, I'm going to actually put it up on auction, I'm going to resell it, I'm going to have it build value over the long term. It still has to have some sort of utility. It has to work. It has to be able to hang in a metaverse space. It has to be able to be viewed. It has to be able to be transferred. It has to be able to translate between the different, blockchains or whatever the case may be. Utility is key because in that you're going to find some portion of the value. The other piece of it is it doesn't happen by magic. You don't just make an NFT and expect something to happen. Nothing works that way. That's not inherent to NFTs. That transcends anything. You have to work it. I have a friend of mine who's a publisher. He has to break a record or break an artist by putting it out there, by hanging a shingle, by showing your wares. So when you think about a platform like an attn.live, why is that applicable? How is that? You push the button, you start recording, it's on the Lexi device, it's streamed to YouTube, the NFT is created. Now, whether that NFT is for social purposes, collectible purposes, for just pure monetization, it doesn't matter, it's done. And that is, I think, where the rubber meets the road in terms of value and attention. Attention is great. You're going to need attention. It's kind of like a child running around with their friends going, going crazy. They're not listening to you. But if you hold them and say, hey, take it easy, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, you're talking to me? Get their attention, but there has to be value. We just have to not mistake attention for value. They're not the same thing. They're two different things, two parts of the puzzle that I think need to be, meshed together and find balance. And then perhaps we can have something great. Looking forward to a deeper conversation. Give some closing thoughts, and then we'll wrap this up and we'll talk about the next two talks that we have coming up.
Yeah, I'm going back into the metaverse, everybody.
Yes, sir.
For my final thoughts.
Yes, sir.
See if I can get in the way of this.
Pop that up. I think I might actually go live here and show this off.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. I'm actually going live.
This has just got to be one of my silliest creative ideas I just had on the spur of the moment. Okay. When talking about attention versus value in NFTs, attention gets you in the door. Value keeps you in the room. Dwell on that statement. Attention gets somebody to lean in and let you influence them. Value is what gets them to buy your product or service. Attention is what's get people to see your NFT in OpenSea. Value is what gets people to buy it and resell it in the secondary market. Attention will get an NFT artist one sale one time, but true value will let that artist collect royalties in perpetuity for the second, 20-second, and 220-second sale. So do not equate just because your item sold for a lot of money that you've earned ongoing attention. And also don't think that just because you have momentary attention that the market will value you indefinitely. That's just not how it works. Let me leave with this. Oprah has both the world's attention and based on how the market's responded, she's provided a lot of value. So much value that she can charge for what she has to say, for her audio and her video. She can charge you, the consumer. She can charge a sponsor or an advertiser to advertise against it. But there's another girl. Nobody knows her name. She's 19 or 20 years old. And she has all the same charisma and empathy and wisdom and intellect and relationship building skills as Oprah does. She has no attention. Does that make her ability to do what she can do for the next several decades less valuable? It does not. And I think we're going into an attention economy. And I believe NFTs are the very thing that is transforming the world into this attention economy. Last year at NFT NYC, I spoke on tokenizing attention. Talk about how we're tokenizing the attention of people through attn.live's NFTs that we create for podcasts. 2 years ago, in February, I did NFT 2024. And it was a collection of all the speakers from NFT NYC, what they were thinking about for 5 years from now. And it's amazing how many of those things have come to pass just in the last few months. As you look forward to 2024, 3 years from now, as you think about tokenizing attention, recognize that attention is not the sole game. Value, not your value, extracting money from the consumer, but the value that you give to the consumer of your service, of your product, of your NFT. These things matter. And you are responsible as the business owner, as the content creator, as the artist, the podcaster, the preacher, the teacher, the spoken word poet. You are responsible to get the world's attention and to provide immediate and long-term value, especially in the NFT space, because you will be held accountable for it. And I want to thank people like Josie Bellini, who has, from the very beginning, gotten the world's attention with art like this and provided value over and over and over again. As every time I do this, it makes me laugh, even though I've never done anything quite like this on Zoom. But thank you, Josie, for providing value from the very beginning and providing value to our NFT collectors who now have been able to make a wonderful profit margin if they were willing to let go of one of her digital collectibles, which I have not been willing to do. I am very grateful to a couple of her original NFTs from way back in the day. Nigel, I'm all done. This is a great conversation.
That, my friend, was absolutely mind-blowing. I love that we got that to just work the way it was supposed to.
Yes, we did.
With unscripted, not planned, worked beautifully. Very, very happy right now. I think you succinctly and comprehensively talked about NFT value versus NFT attention. I am thoroughly satisfied in as far from a voice CEO conversation perspective, and you lived up to your name, Mr. Hello Future, the one-wheeling guru, CEO of attn.live. So with this, I'm going to close and remind everyone that our voice is our passport and conversation is our currency. We have 2 more episodes coming up for this Genesis, I'm going to use the NFT words, 8-day discussion, getting to know you, Voice CEO. So tomorrow, we talk about passion and profit, and then we close it out on Friday with where do we go from here. And we're looking forward to keeping these conversations going, diving deeper into these conversation starters, and just connecting with you. We appreciate each and every one of you. I am Nigel Wright, Gratitude Champion, Voice CEO, and I'm done speaking.